Hello dear students, today we are going to learning history for class 7th part 4. So chapter number 1, when, where and how. In previous part, it's a previous part 3, we have learnt about this chapter literary source. About sources in medieval period. In that, sources are divided in two categories. So one is literary source, another is archaeological source. So what is meant by literary source? Literary sources are written records. Literary sources are written records. Some example. In previous, so all will be writing only that. See here, dramas, commentaries, royal orders, folklores, these all will be written records. And afterwards, in ancient period, means in medieval period, we found that. So archaeologists found manuscripts. So manuscripts also handwritten records. They are kept in a place that they are kept in archives. Archives means, so the history records kept in one place that we calling that archives. And literary sources can be divided into two categories. Indigenous source means indigenous and foreign accounts. So these are two categories in manuscripts means literary sources. See here some example of manuscripts. We have seen here dramas and folklores. Dramas and folklores. For example, that Katha Sarita Sagara and Brihat Katha Kosha. So these are the dramas and folklores of in medieval periods manuscripts. In that same period, the Islamic period, in Persians, means in Islamic period, they found some Persians, Turks, means some manuscripts they found there in Persian, Arabic and Turkish. They found these manuscripts. And some manuscripts are there. Al-Biruni's, Tariq Firoz Shahi. Some biographies are there that, some biographies we got there, Tujhke Baburi or Baburnama. So wrote by Babur. Okay. And Tujhke Firoz Shahi means Tujhke Jahangiri. So wrote by Jahangir. And that like biographies also we got that, manuscripts that. Al-Biruni's, Tariq Firoz Shahi, Abul Fazl's Akbarnama means Ain Akbari, and Badam's Muntkabul Tariq. These all are biographies in manuscripts. And also we got that some important works that Prithviraj Raso, okay, and Vikramankadeva Charita and Raja Taranginis. We got these all important works we found in medieval period. See here, in today's topic, part 4, archaeological sources. So what is meant by archaeological sources? Archaeology is a study of old materials remains left behind the people. So they includes some archaeological sources are, see here, monuments, inscriptions, coins, artifacts and See here, jewelries, jewelry, weapon, weapons, okay, and also pottery, pottery, okay. So these all are archaeological sources. Monuments, inscriptions, coins, artifacts, jewelry, weapons and pottery. Means pottery, right? These all are archaeological sources. So these archaeological sources generally obtained from when we digging on the earth's surface. When we digging on earth's surface, we found there these all archaeological sources. And the peoples who study remains old materials. So they call it archaeologist. Archaeologist. See here, archaeologist. Okay. So once again I am writing this. Archaeologist. Archaeologist means people who studies remains of the old materials called archaeologist. Okay. And see here by example monuments. In monuments coming that buildings, palaces, and see here artifacts. In monuments, buildings, palaces and artifacts. So these tells about social and economic life of the people. This tells about social and economic life of the people. What? Monuments, buildings, palaces and artifacts. These all tells us about social and economic life of the people. Okay. And some important archaeological sources are there here. See here, first one. First archaeological source, Agra Fort. Agra Fort. It is in Agra. And second one, Red Fort in Delhi. And so next fort is Ajmer Fort. Ajmer Fort, it is in Jaipur. And also we got here some Jaisalmer Fort. So these all are archaeological sources. These all are monuments. Okay. These are very important archaeological sources. Means like that monuments. See here Agra Fort in Agra, Red Fort in Delhi, Ajmer Fort, Jaipur and Jaisalmer Fort. These all are archaeological sources. And next you see here, next archaeological source here, temple archaeology. Temple archaeology. Okay. Temple archaeology is the source of information. It's a very important source of information. So these are architecture of this style. Some styles are there, right? Architecture of temples or temple buildings was important source in South India. Some important temples are there here, temple sources are there here. First one is Brihadeshwara temple. Brihadeshwara temple. So where it is? So in Tanjore. Brihadeshwara temple at Tanjore. And Sun temple at Konark. These two are very good example of temple archaeology. Temple archaeology is a very good, means it is a very important information source that. Okay, see here some temples, temple buildings are very important activity in South India. Some very good examples of temple archaeologies. First is Brihadeshwara temple at Tanjore. Second is Sun temple at Konark. So these are the temple archaeology. And next, third archaeological source, coins. Third archaeological source here, coins. We know that coins are another important source of information. Coins are another important source of information which give us lot of information of political and economic life of the people. Understood? Coins, it is the third archaeological source. So coins are very important source of information, and it is means which give us very important information of the social, means political and economic life of the people. And the peoples who study the coins is called that numismatics. See here, numismatics. Understood? Numismatic means what here? So the peoples who study the coins, about coins, so we are calling them numismatics. So it is about coins. So next archaeological source here, inscriptions. Inscriptions, it is third archaeological source. Inscriptions are also very important source of information, and inscriptions are here written on stone surface. So these inscriptions are written on stone surface, temple walls, woods. Okay, we got written records. And see here, these inscriptions, for example, in India, we got the Ashoka's inscriptions is a good example of inscription. And people who study about inscription called the epigraphy. Epigraphy. Understood? Inscriptions are written records on the stone surface and temple walls. And we got here, so they give the information of the administration and also the economic life of the people, economic and political life also mentioning here. The people who study about inscriptions is called epigraphy. The people who study about inscriptions called that epigraphy. So it is about inscription. So next concept is the paintings. See here. paintings. Paintings are also very important information of source. It's a source of information. So which throw the light of social, religion and political life of the people. And these paintings are developed in the Mughal Empire, in the reign of Mughal Empire. They give the information to us that life of the rulers, and they draw they wear fair dress, jewelries, they etc. are of the rulers. So these are the paintings. Paintings are, it's a very important source of information. Okay, so which throw the light of social, religious and economic life of the people, and these paintings are developed in the reign of Mughal empires. And they painted some pictures that the rurals dress-ups, rurals warfares, and also there's jewelries. Okay students, here your history part, chapter 1, when, where and how. Here lesson completed. But what you have learnt in today's class? So you have learnt today's class archaeological source. So what is archaeological source? The study of old materials is known as archaeological source. The people who study about archaeological source, we calling them archaeologists. And also we have learnt next topic, coins. So coins are also, it's a very important source of information. It's through the life of the people to political and economic conditions of the peoples. The people who studies about coins, we calling them numismatics. And next concept also we have learnt in today's class, inscriptions. Inscriptions are written records on the stone surface. These are also very important source of information, and these are written records on the stone surface. And those people who studied about inscriptions called epigraphy. And also we have learnt in today's class paintings. Paintings are also very important sources of information, and which throw the light of social, political and economic conditions of the people's life. And these paintings developed in the reign of Mughal Empire. And they painted the pictures, see here, the rurals, dresses, warfare, jewelries, etc. Okay students, I hope today's class you understood. You make the points correctly in history part, means in history book. So next class I am continuing in next period. Thank you.